Next message.
Met you in Houston, but you're from Atlanta, New York from Pennsylvania, something. Fuck, all I know is you hot and you know this. You make it easy to blow this, you know this thing. Hurricane that ass for me, shaped like a glass for me. It's like I knew what I liked.
So I'm walking through here and I'm just looking at these windows. I feel so exposed. I feel naked. Does anybody ever feel like that? Or is it just me? Baby, Snoopy didn't even make it all the way around the corner, and the dogs that normally be barking at him started barking. Like, I was like, wow, they fucking smelled you. But you know what that lets me know? They miss seeing him. That's what that lets me know. And I knew that. I knew they liked it low key. That was their love language. I don't see brothering. It's too dark. But your other friends see you. Your other friends see you. But the other ones, the hostile ones, they see you. They see you. You got some type of loving today. You better take what you can get. Because that's about as far as we going. We're going to let your friends see you. And we turn it right around. Okay, it's so crazy. And I want to do this really quick. But I tried to watch Martin maybe like a year ago. Damn, I just did that sloppy, but whatever. I tried to watch it a year ago, and I was like, why the fuck did I watch this shit as a kid? Like, it was so annoying to me. But then, after I had my spiritual awakening when I almost died, because literally, like, I will never know what would have happened to me genuinely if I would have never, like, told myself, hold my breath, duck when I was in that restroom. Like, I know for a fact I was on the verge of passing out for sure. So I just don't know what could have possibly happened after that. So that's what I mean by spiritual awakening. Like, once you've experienced something that causes you to, like, just be a little bit stronger, be a little bit more louder, bolder than what you are, it's a spiritual awakening type of thing. So before I end my day, ooh, I felt so dorky doing that. I hope I didn't look so dorky. But anyway, before I end my day, speaking of people who just randomly tell me what's going on in their life, that happened today. And it's so crazy because, like, before she could even get the words domestic violence out of her mouth, I 100% like, I just had that sense and that feeling that it was along that nature, just off of her body language. Like, her whole body language is what told me, because it's just like, you don't really want to speak about domestic violence out loud, but the 100%, like, when you're trying to understand something and be aware and be sensitive towards something, like, there's just really no right way to say it. So she confided in me. It wasn't her, but it was a family member who was experiencing it. And it's just so crazy because, like, in the long run, like, I ended up telling her, like, I've experienced my domestic violence situation with my own father, and, like, how that affected me. And that 100%, like, once she heard that and understanding, like, in some shape and form and way, I can actually relate to this in, like, so many words, but so little words type of shit. So once I told her that, like, I felt her, like, be like, okay, like, let me fucking listen type of shit. Because she really wasn't understanding me when I was trying to tell her that, the person's child did what he did because he's trying to save his mother. Like, you don't gotta understand it, but he just needed his mother to, he needed to give his mother that push to leave out the fucking house, and that's what he did. And it's like, I'm just so happy that he's graduating and he's going off to fucking college. And I even told her that, I was like, him going off to college is like the best therapy that he can experience for himself. And I hope she gives him and the family that motivation, because that, yeah, not healthy. And it could end not healthy if this man could have gotten his way. And but in the gist of the whole tale of the story, the woman is the victor. And I love that. And I made sure I said that shit. Like, the woman being able to financially support herself and actually financially prove to the judge that she's more of a logical parent than this nigga is. Like, I told her, I commend her for being that woman, because it's always reversed. It's always the other way around, where the man is using the money to keep the control for his abuse. And, like, that's the whole, like, bright side to the whole story, is through all the bullshit this woman is going through, she's still the victor, and she don't even realize she's the victor. And the thing about her being the victor is, he has money, he does, and he has potential to make money and to get money, but he chose to use her money and her hard work. And then you turn around and you put your hands on this lady. No, I can't respect that. But 100%, I understand different people's backgrounds and cultures has a lot to play with what's going on. So in the whole gist of domestic violence being the issue, the victim is literally the most powerful person of them all, and that's normally how most situations are. Like, and I just hope that, like, by her child doing what he did, that it just opened her eyes. Like, he's already out the door. He's already out the door. Do not, let him not come back type of shit because of this monster right here. So in a sense, her son literally was that push that she needed to leave that house. And I just hope that whatever was on the lady's mind and heart, because believe it or not, I sensed that shit from the very beginning. Like, I went to my car because I wanted to make sure that I did something, and I saw her outside talking on the phone, and, like, her whole body language, I was like, ugh, I know I had her before, but
I don't think I want her today. Like, I don't want her. Like, she's gonna give me a hard time. That was the whole vibe that I got. And in the gist of it, that's how she ended up spilling that whole vibe and that whole energy that she was on the phone dealing with before she even got inside. And so it's just so crazy how full circle moment, as she's talking, I'm able to understand like what's going on in her mind and da 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 da. And 100% we didn't even end the conversation on that bad note, because at the end of the day, the victim was the victor of it all. So it was already a positive note, but then we ended it up on an even, not even happier note, but an even more positive note, more like a in therapy terms, like the good the happy juice type of shit, where people like see babies and animals and shit like that. And it's like, in a sense, like we ended it in that moment where we talked about our dogs, and like we end up talking about the diets and her taking it to school and her confirming to me like how I want him to go to school and I want him to have training one day, and how although I want these things, like I don't want him getting sick and bring what he got home. Like, no. And I even told her like my experiences with me going to dog parks and me like, no, like I'm very picky with, because no, you're not bringing that shit home with us type of shit. So even with us talking about that and exchanging the stuff that we know, we ended it on a positive note. She was feeling and liking her hair, and like that's what it's all about. Like, I don't purposely be like, ooh girl, let me know what the drama is type of shit, but literally if you let that shit naturally flow, God will bring the drama to you, and he will bring your confirmations through those dramas, or confirmations, or just there's something in those specific conversations that you just need to heal from. And oh yeah, she asked me if I've seen a therapist yet, and I was like, I've always been my own therapist. And I think she kind of understood what I meant by that. But I did say, like, near future wise, like especially for my kids, like if I have kids and I feel like I need to see a therapist, that's when I'm going to see a therapist, because the one thing I do not want to do is be a monster to my kids. And that's why I have Snoop Dogg, because Snoop Dogg ultimately is a great starting point for me to actually generally be that patient parent that I want to be, because I do not want to be how I am with my parents, and I want my kids to know what love is. Like, my parents never showed me genuine love type of stuff, like to know really what love is, because I wasn't even made out of love. So I want to be able to provide that for my kids in the long run. So I was able to like out loud talk to someone who knows about therapy, who literally whole families in the medical field, for me to speak these shit out loud, and for her to be like, you know, understanding and shaking her head, yes, like I'm on the right track. Like, I was able to get a free therapy session in the long run, where I did get my confirmation that yes, seek therapy when you absolutely need therapy, not like breaking point seek therapy. But like, one thing I want to be mindful of is postpartum. So that's part of why I'm trying to fix myself now, because I do not want to experience bad postpartum. Although I may experience it, I just want to be able to be coherent enough to be like, bitch, this is postpartum, or this may be postpartum, or whatever, to just know if I don't feel myself to actually seek help type of shit. So yeah, just to know like that is the right step, that's the right track, and knowing like, yes, you need therapy, but no, in this moment you don't need therapy, and I may never need therapy, and I'll come to terms with that. Because maybe if I go to the therapist and therapist like, what you doing here, I'll be like, okay, this is what I came for. But I do know one day I am going to sit down in the therapist's office and I'm be like, I don't know, whatever that situation is. But if it isn't the situation, I just felt like the need to just see a therapist, I don't know, but whatever. said I was gonna get to see this concert on TV. Now, this not exactly what I was talking about, but beesh, I done seen so much of Beyonce's concert to the point where I really don't even need to go to the concert. Like, I've been getting the whole concert fix just on YouTube.
I'm looking for, yeah, it's that her in the VIP line with the beat time and the East Run. Used to drive the Nissan, now she in a Pima. I don't want her.